Hey guys, how are we doing? Crypto Insight UK here, bringing you back another YouTube video. Now, just before we start, I've just wrote a banger of a newsletter that comes out tomorrow. I cover XRP heavily in detail in this newsletter and what I think is about to come in terms of price action and some more speculative price action where I think things could go this cycle. And this chart kind of gives some of it away, but it's not the time frames that I'm looking at. So definitely go and check that out. It's out tomorrow. It's free to read. Link in the description of this video. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. So what I'm looking at right now in XRP, for example, is the daily is starting to push up, the stochastic getting ready for a bullish cross, potentially a bullish cross and the daily RSI coming. And that's just in the short term. And if we look at what we've been talking about for XRP versus Bitcoin, it could be starting to play out here as well. Lovely little sweep of the lows, which is what I said. I wanted to sweep these lows here, create a bullish divergence, which is where price action comes lower and the RSI ticks higher, which potentially we're doing, and then see some strength to the upside. Now we've still got 14 hours, 45 minutes left of the day, so anything could happen here, but we're starting to get the initial signals of what I wanted to see. Also looking at XRP ETH on the daily time frame. I'm going to just get rid of the stochastic so it's just more clear at the bottom of the screen. What you want to see is these charts starting to get into the oversold area, because that's when things really start to go crazy in crypto. Yes, just remember that oversold, meaning overbought area. I always mix them up in my head. Just remember that when we get into the overbought area or above the 80, it's just a sign of like extreme momentum to the upside. I kind of find it different when we get to the lows in the RSI. It's not necessarily different, but when you start to print higher lows and price action makes lower lows, that's the way that I use the RSI. I use the RSI as momentum indicator until then, and then a change in momentum when you start to see divergences, and that's the way that it should be used. So we want price to get up into these areas, into this overbought look area here, because as you can see very clearly, when we got into the overbought area right here, that's when all this crazy price action started to happen. And obviously the last time we went into the overbought was like here, and then we still continued higher for XRP ETH. Now we're in the oversold, potentially printing a bullish divergence. As I said, we've crossed this the standard moving average line, and we are potentially now bullish with price action making lower lows and the stochastic RSI making higher lows, and potentially indicating this move to the upside in what I've been calling, and I talked about today in the newsletter, potentially wave 3 of a larger 3. So I think we're in 3. This is the larger 3, and I'll just give you an idea of what I mean by wave 3 of a larger 3. Like this, look, wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Something along those lines potentially. The high is there, so you'd have to call that the correction. Then you could say like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So it'd be like something like this. Pretend this is just literally freehand, so I'm not like making it too accurate, but you could say something like this. And then ABC here into the correction, so into the continuation, sorry. So that's the source of structure, and obviously 3, 4, 5 wouldn't look like that, because this larger wave 3, I might have underestimated the size. It could go like this, and the 3 has to be not the smallest wave. It could be something like that, and then that could be just for wave 3, and then wave 5 could be substantially higher, but wave 4 then would be. I'm just showing you more the idea rather than the price targets. I did think like it could be something like that that we see for XRP ETH, okay? Along those lines, like it might not go as high. We're on the logarithmic chart, like could be much different. Look, showing you what I mean. Like we're on the logarithmic, but wave 3 of 5 is where I think we are, and I think we're starting wave 3 of a larger wave 3 now. So let's see. I think that 3 could take us up substantially higher is basically the point that I'm trying to make. And I think that this was 1, 2's the correction there, 3 of 3, and then this is 1 somewhere here, maybe here, 2, and then 3 could be the ABC there, the complex ABC correction in the wave 2. That could be another another potential here. So you could be like a BTC like that. But yeah, just showing you some suggestions of where I think that we are with XRP ETH. I hope this has made sense. I feel like I've just gone on a bit of a ramble so far. Similar thing with XRP dominance. We've, in my opinion, completed a Wyckoff accumulation. We've come back. My laptop's not loaded. We wicked into this key area of support. We're now holding this previous level of support here. Let me just show you a horizontal line. Let me just show you this. Holding above this area. Consolidating again, downward trend. When we get this break, as I presume it will be a break to the upside quite quickly, you start to see the same sort of thing happen. You break the recent swing high, you probably quickly ascend to the next swing high, and all of a sudden you're back towards the highest levels in terms of dominance. And while Bitcoin's at all-time high, that would actually lead to XRP probably being at, or it would lead to XRP being at all-time high, because since XRP last touched 5.6%. Bitcoin's gained market cap. XRP last touched 5.6% on the 3rd of March. And where was Bitcoin priced on the 3rd of March, for example? Let's have a look. March the 3rd was here. Bitcoin was at 93K. Since then, Bitcoin has added 20%, so that would suggest if XRP got to the same level of dominance, XRP would add 20% to its highs, or the 3rd of March price at least. And the 3rd of March, let's have a look where XRP was. 3rd of March was here. It was when we had the call from Trump, the strategic reserve talk, and then so 20% addition to that would put us at all-time highs at 350. So that's just to reclaim where we were in terms of previous dominance. So that could happen very quickly, I think. Essentially what I'm saying is, guys, I think that the next move is up, and I think it comes quickly. I think that Bitcoin dominance looks like it's about to break down here. We've got on the weekly time frame, let's get to the weekly, continued bearish divergences basically since March 2023. I've literally just written about this in the newsletter. It's hard for me to make the YouTube straight after I've written the newsletter, so I just want to talk about everything that I've just talked about there. But definitely watch for Bitcoin dominance to break down. We've got obviously the weekly close coming in 2 days. Watching for a lower high potentially to have been put in here on Bitcoin dominance. We're just going to go back into the daily now so I can show you what I mean. Potentially a lower high put in here. Let's have a look in terms of fib retracements. Did we hit anything key? Nicely on the 702 blockchain backward like that one. We bounced, hit the 702, and then potentially are coming back towards the downside there. Again, we're still in this range for Bitcoin dominance, so I'm not writing off completely that we won't hit this box here, but likelihood is, because of the bearish divergences, because of where Bitcoin is on the liquidity charts I've been showing you guys on X, because of what XRP looks like against Bitcoin, because of what XRP looks like against ETH, I think that the next leg up for alts is imminent, and the top could be in for Bitcoin dominance. And essentially, just to strap in and get ready. It doesn't mean we can't correct. It doesn't mean Bitcoin can't correct. It doesn't mean that alts can't correct. But it does mean that I think that a move is just around the corner, if not imminent. Like, when I say around the corner, it could be days or it could be weeks, but it could be hours, genuinely. And I would love you to read the newsletter, because I talk about take profit plans, keeping your emotion in check, this sort of thing. Because that is what I think we're about to hit that season in the market now, where everyone's going to get a little bit crazy. But yeah, I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to leave you with that. I think that's a bit of an exciting video. It's not really too much information. It's more of like a chat with you. I talked about wave format and wave structure for XRP, where I think we are and where I think we're going. I go into more detail, as I said in the newsletter. We're still looking good across the board for everything, really. That's why I think it just could be time. It really, really could be. I haven't really got much more to say without giving the whole newsletter away, and I don't want to do that right now. But anyway, If you did enjoy the video, guys, please do like, comment, and subscribe and share it with a friend. If you want to trade any leverage and you haven't got a non-KYC exchange, or you want to add a non-KYC exchange, please use the WeX link in my description. That helps me out a lot. It's a way to support the channel. Peace up, A-Town down, as Crypto Insight UK would say.